we go from a little bit of laugh to a very serious. Luke Keary has retired at the end of the year. My first thought was, the concussions are bad. Obviously, he can't play on because I believe he signed 2 weeks ago a contract extension. So this isn't I've been thinking about this for months and I've just gone a year too many sort of thing. He re-signed for 2 weeks ago. What do you reckon, mate? I was caught off guard. I've got to be honest.
It was a little bit longer than 2 weeks ago. He re-signed in the pre-season for another 2 years. And whilst I don't think... whilst he's saying it's got nothing to do with concussions, I think he is one bad one away from being pulled up and either having to go to America or sit out of the game for a little bit like that. He's only young. He's 32 years old. So he's probably, physically... He's probably got another 3 or 4 years in the... as we just said, Daly Cherry Evans is 35 years old. Halfbacks probably can play on a little bit longer than, most players can. But the head knocks, he's got to think of his family. He's got young children. He's got a beautiful wife. He's got his whole life in front of him. And there's just so much to think of when you are a player who has had, multiple concussions, and he's not the first and he won't be the last. He's the champion. He's a 3-time premiership winner. He's a Clive Churchill medalist. He's been a Dally M 5'8" of the year, and this is another guy. Scandals have evaded him. He's never, like Daly Cherry Evans, I can't remember logging onto NRL.com to see if Luke Keary is going to get suspended. You're talking about a guy who left his boyhood club to go and join the biggest rival. Was probably the most scandalous thing he did. And he was an awesome player on his day. Prime and peak Luke Keary is up there with one of the best, individual performance of 5'8". AJ on Twitter turned around and said that his opening 40 minutes of the Melbourne Roosters grand final is arguably the best 40 minutes you'll see from an individual player, especially at 5'8". He carried his halfback couldn't lift his arm. He was brilliant.
He's freaky good. It's such a shame. I said about Dale Finucane last week. I know I get a feeling it's been pushed on by injuries and concussions too. And I think when you look at a young family and you think this guy can coach, he can commentate, he can go work at McDonald's. Who cares?
Yeah.
But the fact is, he's got that choice. I'm glad he's gone out on his own terms. I don't buy into the rumours that the Roosters have said, you got to go, so we're going to replace you. They got millions of dollars in the cap. They could have moved him on. He could have gone to England and made a mozza. He could have gone anywhere and made a mozza. Let's be honest. It's Luke Keary. I'm glad to see this. Players are taking post-game into consideration and retiring earlier than probably they'd like to. We're seeing a lot of older players, show symptoms of some pretty awful stuff. And, as bad as that is, players in this generation are learning from that. And it sucks to see a player retire, especially one who isn't 35 and, decided for 2 years, look, this is my last off-season. The wife and the kids want more time, or something as they often joke about. But to see him pull up something, it really caught me off guard. Mm-hmm. And, it certainly makes the Warriors players for the next 2 seasons. I wrote in my 20 thoughts, I wouldn't be shocked to see Joey Manu go, maybe I should stay here at the Roosters. I'm still not ruling that out. But if David Fifita isn't linked to the Roosters by the end of the weekend, then the Journos aren't doing their jobs.
I've got 2 quick questions for you. 2 trivia questions on Luke Keary. Well, one's a trivia question, one not. He's currently on 45 tries for his career. Does he make 50 before he retires?
Yes.
You're going to back him in for 5 tries?
Absolutely. 100%.
Awesome. You can do it, Luke. Second question. Luke Keary has played for 2 countries. Mm-hmm. Which countries are they?
Was one Scotland?
Was it?
I'm going to lock in Scotland or Ireland. Ireland. Keary's an Irish name. And he played for Australia, didn't he?
You are bang on. It was Ireland and Australia.
He played
in 2018. He played 3. In 2022 at the World Cup, he played 3 games for Ireland, and in 2018 he played 2 games for Australia. He also played 1 game for New South Wales as well. 63 games for South Sydney, and this weekend is his 150th game for the Roosters. Well, congratulations on a stellar career, Luke. Wishing you all the best.